Welcome to Say Yes to Chocolate, the podcast where better is the goal, not perfect.
We're your hosts, Dr. Becky and Sara B, bringing you simple, science-backed wellness with a side of real life and a sprinkle of chocolate love, because balance should taste like joy.
If you're ready to simplify your health and thrive in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, you're in the right place. Let's do this.
Welcome to Say Yes to Chocolate, where we simplify wellness so you can stress less and live with more energy. One doable habit at a time. I'm Dr. Becky.
I'm Sara B, and today we're going to be wrapping up our 7 simple and easy habits with one of the most underrated tools that is completely free.
Welcome to Say Yes to Chocolate,
and
the podcast
it's your
where
breath.
better is the goal, not
We're
perfect.
actually talking about
We're your
intentional
hosts,
breathing.
Dr.
So
Becky
not
and
just
Sara B,
breathing.
bringing you
Simple techniques and low
science-backed
stress.
wellness with a
Calm
side
your
of real
body and
life
actually
and a
rewire
sprinkle
your
of
nervous
chocolate
system.
love, because balance
No
should taste
supplements,
like joy.
no equipment.
If you're ready to
air.
simplify your
Yes,
health
lucky
and
for us, it's
thrive
free
in your 40s,
24/7.
50s, and
personally,
beyond,
this one I've seen
you're
one
in
of
the
my
right
biggest
place.
impacts
Let's do this.
from, especially when it comes to managing my stress and getting deeper sleep.
And resetting your nervous system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we eat a few times a day, drink water a few times a day, exercise a few times a week, but we breathe nonstop. All day, every day, even while we sleep.
Right. And yet most of us don't ever think about how are we breathing.
Right. But the way we breathe actually sends powerful signals to both the brain and the body. It's one of our biggest inputs that we have into our nervous system, actually. The system that controls your heart rate, your blood pressure, digestion, and even your stress response.
I personally realized that, especially this last year, right? I had a doctor really help me with this. She actually really suggested intentional breathing. And I rolled my eyes, to be 100% honest.
I was going to say, your first initial reaction was not positive to that.
No, it really was not. I was like, this is probably the dumbest thing I've heard, because when you live in a system, I'm pretty sure all of us are familiar with fight and flight, you don't actually realize how much stress you're under because it's your norm.
Right, it's your set point, right?
Right. So we don't actually realize that our body and our nervous system is craving calm and to feel peace because we don't feel it. And it could even be like maybe you don't have stress, but you are sitting at a desk all day taking shallow breaths, and your nervous system also feels like it's being chased by a tiger.
Right.
Or there could be truly, a lot of us go through stressful things that are triggering that as well.
Well, and I think one of the biggest takeaways from that, Sara, is we hear all day long that stress is the contributor to virtually all chronic disease.
Yes.
And you're not getting the results you want because you're under stress. And the reason you're getting sick all the time is because you're under stress. And the reason that you are feeling anxious or because you are struggling with depression or can't focus or have brain fog is because you're under stress. And I think we hear it so much that we have just begun to roll our eyes at it. And then
And also
and then where do you go from there?
Right, and you tune out the message, right? So I'm really excited about today's episode, to be 100% honest.
This is an amazing tool.
This is so amazing. We talk about it actually all the time at our wellness center as well. But we're actually going to talk about the practical steps of how doing intentional breathing, how it works, and also how it's like a built-in remote control for your stress response.
Yes, because shallow breathing actually keeps your nervous system stuck in that fight or flight, and deep breathing will actually stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is what we call rest and digest. And it is what allows your body to restore back to baseline. And intentional breathing or doing breathing exercises and becoming more aware of your breath is one of the few tools that can actually directly impact the vagus nerve, which is kind of the key highway between your brain and body that influences virtually every body process.
From mood to digestion to even inflammation.
Absolutely.
Correct? Yeah.
All of the above.
So when I started doing intentional breath work, it was kind of like my last resort.
Right.
And something I obviously wasn't thrilled to start. But my stress was high, my sleep was horrible, and I just needed something that didn't require another supplement or another gadget, because sometimes you just get so much stuff.
But I think part of the reason that you had so much resistance to it is because you actually were looking for like the next supplement or the next blood test or the next gadget that was going to fix all your ails, which is where we're at in society.
Right, 100%. And honestly, when I started doing this, and I did do it reluctantly to start, but it doesn't matter because I still got the benefit.
And kudos to you because you gave it a chance. You didn't
Yes.
want to, but you were like, all right, I'm just going to try it.
I did try it, and all of a sudden I noticed I was sleeping better. I was able to cope with stress, like daily things, so much better. The best thing she said to me, my practitioner, she's like, just notice when you're holding your breath through your day. And so I hadn't ever thought about that. So she suggested, like, are you holding your breath like when you're driving? Well, I noticed I was peeling a carrot, which is not a stressful thing. Unless you're going to slice your finger off, then it's stressful. I wasn't, and I was holding my breath. And that was my big aha moment of, oh yeah, I
Wow.
really do need to start actually breathing.
Yes. Giving your body that clean breath.
Yes.
And you know, Sarah, because it's something that you're already doing all day long, literally all day long, it's one of the easiest habits to add into your day. You just have to become intentional about it, which is what this episode is all about, is intentional breathing.
Yep. It's also the quickest. Don't need to set aside an entire hour for intentional breathing. You can do it as little as 60 seconds of intentional breathing, and you're going to feel a difference.
And you can also do it without anybody ever even knowing.
Yeah.
Because it's actually training your nervous system to recover faster from stress. Over time, it starts to build a resilience to it as well. And I think the more you do this, the more automatic it actually starts to become without having to have that thought process behind it.
Absolutely.
So let's walk through your favorite approaches
Yeah.
to what we call intentional breathing.
So I really like a 4-7-8 breath. So you're inhaling for 4, you're going to hold for 7, and you're going to exhale for 8, which I can do that during the day. But when I'm by myself, I will also add on my exhale. So it sounds like the sound of the ocean, which is like a shh sound, which also pushes your stomach back into your spine, which activates your vagus nerve from the bottom of it all the way up to the top of your mouth.
And creates a tremendous relaxation
Yes.
reflex.
Yeah, I like to do that right before bed a lot with the ocean sound, especially when I can't get my brain to shut off.
Let's do it right now.
Okay.
All right. Do we do breath in through nose, out through mouth? Does it matter?
Yep. So we're
what's
going to
best
inhale
practice?
through our nose through 4.
Okay.
We're going to hold for 7, and then we're going to exhale out through our mouth for 8.
Okay.
So I will count with my fingers.
Okay.
Because I can't actually breathe and count out loud at the same time.
All right. So
Okay,
if you're
ready?
watching on YouTube, watch the fingers. If
Yep.
you're not, you can do your own count. But we're going to
Yes.
do the 4, 7, 8
Yep.
breath.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and inhale for 4. Hold for 7. And exhale for 8. And that's it.
And if you want to, like you said, you can do the noise of the ocean
Yes.
coming out for that 8.
Yep.
That's fantastic. And then with that one, how many repeats would you do with that?
Really until I kind of start to feel calm. A minimum of 3 to 4, but there are some days I'm going to do 12.
So you can feel calm even as minimal as just 3.
3. Yep.
That's less than a minute.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And especially at nighttime, sometimes I'll just do 3 or 4 just to help. That does trigger my brain because I have now been doing it for long enough that it really does trigger my body. Like, oh yeah, we are calming down right now.
I would imagine the more practiced you are at this, the body has memory in a lot
Yeah.
of things. And so I would imagine the body immediately almost recognizes what we're doing.
Yes.
And just
Yep.
gets on board even that much quicker.
Yep. So the other thing I have had to do too when I started the 4-7-8 is I can't always hold for 7. I also had to train
sure.
myself. Sometimes I would do 4-6-8, which is okay as well. The whole point is that your exhale is longer than your inhale. Even if you're not able to go 4-7-8, but as long as that exhale is longer, then that's really what your body needs.
Okay.
So wherever you're starting, it's okay that you don't get there right away.
So 4-7-8 is more of a guideline than it is like strict, you're not doing it right if you don't hit 4-7-8.
Well, that's how I treat it.
Yeah. But it works.
But it works.
And I mean, you've gotten results from it.
Right. And through the other reality is just that exhale has to be longer than your inhale.
Perfect.
That's what resets
No
it.
perfection.
No perfection. That's not what we do here. So next, let's go ahead and talk about, I think, one that you like, which is the box breathing.
Yep.
We're going to do a box breathing. We're going to inhale for 4. We're going to hold for 4. We're going to exhale for 4. And then we're going to hold for another 4. And this one is also really great to do during your day, in between meetings, or just when you're driving around. Correct?
Correct. We're going to practice this one as well.
Okay. You're just going to count to 4 in your head. So we're going to go ahead and inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. And then you just repeat that process.
And this is also inhale through nose, exhale through mouth, correct?
Correct. This one I actually really do like during the day when I feel kind of that spike of stress, right? I think all of us know there's just certain situations that all of a sudden our body's responding to it. And it's a really quick, easy way to just help lower that down, and you can really do it anywhere.
I think it probably that one for me almost instantly triggers like a relaxation response.
Absolutely.
And then another approach that I think is kind of fun, you can turn it into something fun as well, that works to stimulate the vagus nerve, intentional breathing, because you have to breathe when you do this, and that is
humming. Also something that I was reluctant to start at the beginning as well, because I'm tone deaf and I don't actually hum songs. But it doesn't matter. You don't actually have to hum songs. It's just the act of humming stimulates that vagus nerve as well. I actually do it a lot when I'm grocery shopping and when I'm driving.
Well, and I think you can hum quietly too. It doesn't have to be a full out, because a relaxation and part that stimulates the vagus nerve with humming is the breath coming out, but it's also the vibration
of it
in the muscle system. So you can also very quietly hum as well, and just to get that little bit of vibration. But it does make it a little bit more fun. If you did want to hum to a tune or make somebody laugh, that would be another
fun. Yes.
So I know that this is something that you have gotten tremendous amount of benefit from, Sara. And so when should people actually do this? I mean, what is your recommendation for people to get some results from this?
So really anytime you're feeling stressed, or if you just want that little boost. But here are 3 of my favorites. I like to do it in the morning, especially with getting my morning sun. It just gives me that double take, right? I'm going to start my day with my nervous system feeling safe, but then also getting the great benefit of the sun. And then I like to do it throughout the day because there are just stressful moments. And then actually right before bed, I will also do a lot of breathing. I am a bath taker and I love a long, relaxing bath. And I will actually do a meditation while I'm doing my bath and do the both at the same time as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think for me, because it hasn't been something that I was instructed to do, but I do know that stimulating the vagus nerve is one of the best ways to calm the immune system. And so for me, like, I do incorporate it with like my morning sunlight.
Yep.
As that first way to start my day. But meal times also make it really easy for me. I do a big deep breath before lunch and before supper. It's kind of like, because that's a natural break point in your day to take a break. Doing just a little bit of intentional breathing before you eat lunch and before you have supper is also an easy way to naturally incorporate it into your day.
So you're already breathing all day long, right? The body has to have oxygen. So let's just take a few times through the day and breathe on purpose.
Right. It's the simplest form of self-regulation we have, and it's free.
Yes. And let's be honest, this sounds like it can be so simple and so silly to do it. Like, really, breathing?
Yes, really, breathing. I remember when you came back from that appointment and that was your takeaway and you were not thrilled, but it's something that you took heed to and has actually made a big difference. And I think we're always chasing fancy fixes and overlooking the foundational things that are just right there. And your breath, your body, leaves you totally in your own control.
Yes. And that is the whole purpose of why we created the 7 easy habits that changed our life, right? Is to help provide small, simple, sustainable things that we've implemented that have been life-changing.
Absolutely. Breathing is just a reminder that you already have everything you need to reset, calm down, and start fresh anytime, anywhere. But the other 6 habits are almost identical in the approach that allows you to just take control over your life and be able to implement those small, simple things that don't ask you to completely rework your life.
Right. And the other purpose of the series is that you're starting with 1. We're not expecting you to start with all 7. You're just going to pick 1. You're going to get that down, and then you're going to choose your next habit if you choose to.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you don't even have to do all 7.
So let's talk about this week's KISS action step. I love the fact that we send everyone out every week with something simple to do.
Yes. So what is information without action? It is worthless. So your KISS action step for today is to take just 3 minutes and just focus on your breath. Not even doing like the breathing exercises, but just focus on the breath. Just take an inventory where you're holding stress. Are you breathing from your shoulders? Or are you breathing from your chest? Or are you breathing from your diaphragm? Ideally, it's your diaphragm, because breathing anywhere else increases muscle tension.
Sure.
So just take an inventory. And then if you want to take it one step further, just try the 4-7-8 or the box breathing or a little bit of humming. And if your people around you will think you're nuts, that's okay. Make them laugh or do it into the privacy of your own day.
And also, honestly, they'll actually start doing it with you. So my husband has always been a good hummer, but now he'll also start breathing with me as well.
Because he gets, and I know John, and it's only because he's seeing benefit from it.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're skeptical, I totally get it, but just try it. That's all we're going to ask, is that you just try it, see for yourself, and see what it does for you.
Because I was totally not on board with this at all to start, but it has really been a powerful tool. Because sometimes the most powerful tools we have are the ones we're born with.
Absolutely.
So that's habit 7, intentional breathing. It is the most underrated wellness tool that we have. It's simple, it's free, and it's available to us 24/7.
And if you want to go back and listen to all 7 habits, or if you missed any of those episodes, or you just want to grab a copy, we actually put together a PDF guide called 7 Easy Simple Habits That Have Changed Our Life. And you can download that at drbeckyonline.com/easy habits, or you can go back and listen to the other 6 episodes of the podcast.
Awesome. Until next time,
Say yes to chocolate
and to simple, sustainable wellness.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Say Yes to Chocolate.
If today's episode gave you a win, something to think about, or even just a smile, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, rate, and share it with a friend.
Want more? Join our email newsletter so you don't miss a beat, and come find us on all the social channels at Say Yes to Chocolate Podcast for all the quick hints and tips.
And don't forget, you can always send us your questions or episode ideas. We love hearing from you.
Until next time, keep it simple, stay curious, and always say yes to chocolate.